The Empire State Building, high above the city of New York, lit up tonight in tribute to police officers everywhere. A memorial to the fallen and a salute to those now on the job. Good evening on this day, 1198 of the Trump administration. 186 days to go until our presidential election. And before leaving for Camp David today, the president left us with this quote. Hopefully, we're going to come in below that 100,000 lives lost, which is a horrible number. And indeed it is. Here's another one. This is the current death toll as of our airtime tonight. You see it there. Almost 65,000 people across our country. The president had been using 60,000 as a kind of benchmark death toll estimate in weeks past. No more. Tonight, NBC News reports 14 possible COVID vaccines are now being developed as part of the administration's new program to fast-track one for use as early as January. That number was, quote, whittled down several weeks ago from 93 vaccines in development that were studied as part of the program known as Operation Warp Speed. The goal is to have 3 or 4 vaccines make it through final testing cleared for use early next year. Late this afternoon, the FDA announced it's allowing emergency use of remdesivir to treat the virus. It's the drug Dr. Fauci says has proven effective in early trials. Prior to this, though, it has not been approved for any illness in this country. Tonight, NBC News has also learned the White House has blocked Dr. Fauci from testifying next week before the House Appropriations Committee about the coronavirus response. The productive to have Dr. Fauci appear while trying to open up the country and develop a vaccine. As others quickly put it tonight, they were clearly worried about what he might say, the attention he might get. Then just a short time ago, we learned Fauci will be allowed to testify before the Senate Health Committee May 12th. The Senate, of course, is in Republican hands. Meanwhile, a new report out of the University of Minnesota suggests the pandemic could be around for 2 more years, with recurring spikes until about 2/3 or more of the population is immune. One of the report's authors will join us in just a few moments. Another new report, this one from the CDC about the U.S. response in the early months of this year, says, quote, the epidemic curve presented was likely affected by limited testing, particularly in the early phases of the outbreak. Despite all that, the president continues to focus on blaming China for the outbreak and now talking up retaliation.
Talking about potential tariffs on China yesterday, is that something that's under serious consideration? So we're going to see what happens. A lot of things are happening with respect to China. We're not happy, obviously, with what happened. This is a bad situation all over the world, 182 countries. But we'll be having a lot to say about that. It's certainly an option.
As we head into the weekend, nearly 20 states are going through some form of reopening. Across the country, protesters came out to object to those restrictions that remain, like California's decision to close Orange County beaches. In Michigan, just yesterday, hundreds of protesters, some of them with long guns, descended on the state capitol as Governor Gretchen Whitmer extended its state of emergency orders till May 28. Today, Trump weighed in with this post, quote, the governor of Michigan should give a little and put out the fire. These are very good people, but they are angry. They want their lives back again safely. See them, talk to them, make a deal. Late this afternoon, Governor Whitmer responded to the president.
We're not in a political crisis where we should just negotiate and find some common ground here. We're in a public health crisis. We're in the midst of a global pandemic that has already killed almost 4,000 people in our state.
Michigan has recorded over 42,000 cases. New York's governor also coming down on the side of caution today. Andrew Cuomo declared schools would remain closed for the rest of the school year. Some of the most important voices in the discussion of how we should reopen the nation and when belong to those who would care for us if we move too quickly and have a resurgence of this virus. Earlier on this network, one physician expressed her concerns to Nicole Wallace.
Everybody in healthcare is just mortified at kind of what is unfolding in some of those cities and states. And that's going back to the data. We haven't even finished our first wave, Nicole. We're still in maybe at best a plateau.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.